Hello, and welcome once again to Lehto's Law. I'm Steve Lehto, attorney at law in the state of Michigan. I've been practicing law now for almost 25 years in the fields of consumer protection and lemon law. I often write about this stuff at places like roadandtrack.com, and I've written a few books as well. Today we're going to talk about why your insurance company will deny your auto theft claim and get away with it. In Michigan, if your car gets stolen and you file a claim, there's a very good chance the insurance company will simply say, we don't have to pay that claim, and they'll get away with it. And it'll often happen to you if you're black. I kid you not, I get a lot of calls from African Americans who tell me that their vehicles were stolen. They filed an insurance claim, and the insurance claim was simply denied. And it is overwhelmingly done to black people who filed insurance claims. And I got a recent phone call from somebody this happened to, and it's just one of the most bizarre things that happens to this day and age. Many people know about this. A lot of attorneys know about this. People in the insurance industry know about this. No one talks about it. And I've actually tried mentioning this to various people in the media, journalists and so on. I can't get anyone that interested in it. I suspect it's because insurance is such a big business that no one really wants to go after these people. But the insurance companies do this. And again, if you have a claim you're going to file on a vehicle that gets stolen, if you're white, the claim gets paid. If you're black, the claim gets denied. And it's not funny. It's just amazing that it happens. And like I said, in this day and age. Now, you might say, Steve, how could this happen? How? I don't understand how this could happen. Well, here's what happens. In the state of Michigan, and in many other states, we do not have a cause of action for what's called insurance bad faith. Some states, if an insurance company denies a claim for the wrong reason, they can be sued not only for the claim itself, but they can be punished for denying a claim in bad faith. That's called a bad faith action. Michigan does not have any such cause of action. So what happens in Michigan is if your car gets stolen or you have an insurance claim of any sort and you sue your insurance company and you win, they have to pay you what they were supposed to pay you in the first place. I actually got an attorney who called me from another state a couple days ago regarding an insurance claim against somebody in Michigan, and I explained this to him. He said, well, wait, Steve, why do insurance companies in Michigan pay any claim? And I said, frankly, I don't know, because they don't have to. And again, just to make sure this is clear, okay? You have an insurance claim against your company. Your insurance company owes you $10,000. And they just tell you, we're not going to pay you. Screw you, okay? So you say, okay, what are my options? I can sue them. So you call up an attorney like me and you say, Steve, my insurance company owes me $10,000. I want to sue them. Can we do that? I say, yeah, of course we can do that. Who's going to pay me? You see, there used to be a law in Michigan called the Consumer Protection Act that said if you sued an insurance company, among other things, and you won, the insurance company not only had to pay you what they had to pay you, they had to pay your attorney fees for you. And that makes sense. Since they forced you to sue them, they should have to pay your attorney fees. Well, the insurance companies didn't like that, and they fought that tooth and nail, and they eventually got Michigan Supreme Court to strike it down. And Michigan Supreme Court, which is basically an organization of extremely biased individuals who have gotten on the bench, did that favor for the insurance companies because the insurance lobby is extremely powerful in Michigan. And so now, if you want to sue the insurance company, they owe you $10,000. If you're lucky, you can find an attorney who'll do it on a contingency. And so you file the lawsuit, and you go through all the trouble of going to a jury trial, and a jury says, yes, insurance company, pay that man $10,000. Well, your attorney's got to take all of his costs out of the recovery, which is the filing fee and the deposition costs and the subpoena fees and all the other attendant costs. Let's assume you could do that with less than $1,000 in costs, or $1,000. You take that out. Now he gets a third of the remaining $9,000. You pocket $6,000. So you won your $10,000 claim and you get $6,000. Total cost of the insurance company? Well, they had to pay you $10,000 plus they had to pay their own attorneys. But the thing is that they know that if they fight every single claim filed against them, attorneys will realize it's not worth taking these cases. And in fact, I turn down almost every single one of these cases I get brought to me. I will tell you, however, I have represented several people simply because I felt sorry for them. I've had a guy, whose car got stolen, and the insurance company, when asked why did you deny the claim, they said, we denied it because it didn't meet the standards of our policy. They will never tell you exactly why they deny the claims. And what's more amazing is that they're allowed to deny claims if they think you've committed fraud, not only in getting your insurance or filing your claim, but they can also claim you didn't cooperate with them after you filed your claim. So let's suppose your car is actually stolen. It's really stolen. You can prove it was stolen. And you file a claim and you had a policy in place and the insurance company says, we're not going to pay your claim. We don't care. We have a reason we're not going to pay your claim. So you complain and you file a claim against them and you sue them, whatever. And in the process of doing that, they take your statement, they call it examination under oath. They bring you in front of a court reporter and they ask you questions. And they will grill you and ask you all kinds of crazy, insane, detailed questions. What time did you leave the house? What time did you lock your car? Do you have all the keys to your car? You know, where did you park it? Was it in the driveway? Was it in the garage? And if they think you made a mistake in any statement you made to them, they can say, oh, we're denying your claim now based on your false statement you made to us in the investigation. I kid you not. They can actually say, we agree with you that your car was stolen, but you made a false statement to us afterwards, and that allows us to deny your claim, and they will deny your claim on that basis, and they will get away with it. So remember that there's no incentive for them to pay your claim, because the worst that can happen to them is they can be forced to pay your claim. Okay? So in other words, they owe you $10,000. You sue them. After going through a full jury trial, the worst that can happen is they're forced to cut a check to you for $10,000. And you will come up behind because your attorney's got to get paid and so on. So that's a situation that's happened in the last few years. And like I said, it's become more pronounced over the years that I get phone calls from people who say my car was stolen and one of the big insurance companies denied my claim. And it's invariably a person of color calling me and telling me this. I don't think I've ever gotten a phone call from a white person saying my car was stolen, my claim was denied. I've never gotten that phone call. And it became most comical in a non-funny sense, but just bizarre sense. And I've told this story before in a podcast about a year or two ago, where a tornado went through Wayne County back in the early to mid-90s. And it kind of touched down in a couple different places, and it hit Highland Park and it hit Grosse Pointe, one of the Grosse Pointes. And in Highland Park, you have a predominantly African-American community, and in Grosse Pointe, you have a predominantly white community. And the insurance companies, denied claims for damage to homes in Highland Park, but they paid all the claims in Grosse Pointe. And again, we know why. And now, the woman who called me that I represented, that I handled a case like this for, largely because I felt sorry for her home was destroyed by the tornado, including its contents. Now, the insurance company couldn't deny that the home was destroyed. I mean, there was no home there. The home was gone, okay? So the insurance company actually said, well, we'll cut you a check to have your home rebuilt. But if you want us to compensate you for the contents of the home, you've got to provide us cash receipts or receipts showing that you purchased every single thing in your home. And if you don't have a receipt for something in the home, don't even file a claim for it. And when my client had first filed her claim, they'd said, what was destroyed? She said, my house, my contents. They said, list your contents. So she listed all of her contents. So when they asked her as a follow-up, we need receipts for every single thing in your house, she couldn't produce receipts for every single thing in the house. Among other things, the receipts were in the house. So when she said, well, I can recreate some of this, but not all of it, they said, oh, you filed a false claim now. Your claim is now false because you made false statements to us because you don't have receipts for everything in the house. Therefore, we're denying your claim for all your contents. So the insurance company took the position, we have to pay to replace the house, but we don't have to pay to replace the contents because she hasn't got the receipts and she made a false statement when she indicated she'd bought things that she doesn't have receipts for. That's a weird kind of mental gymnastics because I own a lot of stuff I don't have receipts for, okay? And you're going to call me a liar and say I don't have the receipts, but that makes me a liar. That's not true. It just means that I didn't save the receipts. I mean, I'm not a paper freak, okay? So we went to court. That case dragged on for years, okay? And that's what insurance companies do. Insurance companies will drag these cases out, and every attorney in Michigan will tell you this. It is a known fact that several insurance companies have got policies where they say, we will try every single case filed against us. Doesn't matter how good your claim is, doesn't matter what your claim is for, doesn't matter what evidence you have, we will try the case. And I've gone to pretrial conferences before in front of judges who look at the attorney from the insurance company and go, let me guess, you want to try this case? And they go, yep, we're going to try this case, Your Honor. And the judge goes, why do you try every single? It's a policy of ours, Your Honor. Yes, but you understand your policy is stupid. Okay, some cases aren't worth trying. No, we try all our cases. We only deny claims because these claims are fraudulent. These claims are fraudulent. And it's not that they're fraudulent. It's just that the insurance companies know that they can fight these claims and people won't be able to recover their money because very few attorneys will take these cases. And who in their right mind is going to sue their insurance company, like in small claims court, for instance? And the insurance company will immediately yank the case out of small claims anyway. So this is what the insurance companies do. This is how they get away with it. Now you might say, Steve, are you telling me that the great state of Michigan, okay, the state of Michigan has no remedy for people who are screwed by insurance companies? And I say, well, no. Technically speaking, they do. Technically speaking, they do. It's an illusory solution. But in theory, there is a solution. And the solution lies with the department in Lansing. See, Lansing, of course, is our state capital. And under Rick Snyder, the entire government's been reworked and revamped, and they keep retitling different departments. And there used to be a Department of Insurance, okay? And under Rick Snyder, who came along and renamed everything, we now have the Department of Insurance and Financial Services. Okay, the Department of Insurance and Financial Services. And so what he did was he combined the Department of Insurance with the people who oversee banks. Now, states don't really need to oversee banks because the feds do that. Insurance, however, really needs oversight because, like I said, there's a problem in Michigan where if you're black and you have your car stolen, the insurance company simply won't pay your claim. They just won't pay it. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that the banks put up with this. And in fact, in one of the cases I handled years ago on one of these claims, the bank attorney called me and said, hey, Steve, I need you to help me out on a case. I said, what's that? And he said, well, he goes, we've got a claim right now where our borrower had a collateral, a car that was stolen. It was our collateral. And the insurance company is denying the claim. And he goes, and I can't figure out why. He goes, and I said, well, I can tell you why. She's black. And he said, but Steve, the bank isn't black. We want our money. So I helped him on this case. We filed the lawsuit. We won. We had to go to a trial on it. I've told that story before also. But the point is they simply denied the claim because she was black. They just said, oh, well, she filed a fraudulent claim. They had no evidence. The judge actually was like almost laughing at the insurance company on this one. So getting back to this, though, if there's such a widespread problem, why doesn't the Department of Insurance and Financial Services get involved? Well, they do get involved. If you go on the internet and search this under Michigan's government page, michigan.gov, you will find there's a complaint form you can file. So if you are black and your car gets stolen, and the insurance company says, we're not going to pay you because you're black. I mean, we're not going to pay you because you faked your claim. You can file a complaint. And there's a handy little instruction booklet that comes with a complaint form. And they tell you, before you file your complaint with us, you should contact the company. If you disagree with an insurance company, always contact the company first and speak with a management representative to try to find a solution. The solution is pay the claim. But let's play along here. Explain the problem in a calm, courteous manner and provide dates, amount, and as many related facts as you can. Yeah, I got facts for you. My car was stolen. They denied the claim. Now, if you still do not agree with the company position, ask them to provide a written response. Hey, that's genius, especially because that's required by law. Okay? So they're telling you to ask for something that they're required to give you. Now, it does say here, it says ask them to list the specific rules or language in the policy that allow them to deny or exclude coverage. Well, they're going to tell you, your car wasn't stolen. Therefore, we don't owe you the money. So it says now, next, if you feel that your insurance agent misrepresented what your policy covers, made false statements to persuade your decision, or used other fraudulent methods, try to resolve the dispute by speaking directly with the agent. They're actually telling you, if you think they've committed fraud, speak to them first about the fraud they've committed. That's how insane and idiotic the advice from the state of Michigan is on this issue. It gets worse. It says, if you still do not agree with the agent's position, ask for a written response. Now, you'll notice that we're going in circles here, because a minute ago they said if you didn't like the ruling by the insurance company, ask for a written response. Now they're saying if you call them and dispute that, and you don't like the response, to ask them for a written response. How many written responses do you think the insurance company is going to give you? Okay, but that's what Lansing says. Go back a second time and ask them for a second written response, which again is going to say we denied your claim because your car wasn't stolen. Now it does say the Department of Insurance and Financial Services can help you, or DIFS is what they call it, and it says here's how we can help you. You can file a complaint with us. And it does say we try to resolve the complaint and see that your questions are answered. They come right out and tell you they can't help you. They can answer your questions, but they can't help you. It does say later on, after paragraphs and paragraphs of more gibberish, please understand that we strive to resolve all complaints. We may not be able to provide the exact result you desire, as we can only resolve disputes based on the information provided and our authority under Michigan law, and they have no authority. This is an illusory organization put together to try to mollify, is that the correct word? I hope so. Try to calm down upset people who've been ripped off by their insurance companies, okay? So it does say, however, we hope that through our complaint process, you are able to gain an understanding of the situation and the policy language and laws that apply. So in other words, you contact the Department of Insurance and Financial Services, and they will take your complaint and they will try to help you understand why you got screwed by the insurance company. That is what they'll do for you. That's our tax dollars hard at work. Now you might ask yourself, Steve, there's a department in Lansing that's overseeing this. Surely they will help. Surely they will help. Okay, number one, stop calling me Shirley. But number two, no, they won't. First of all, the director is a guy named Patrick McFarland. Before he worked for the DIFS, he was the president and the CEO of a credit union. He's got nothing to do with insurance, doesn't know anything about insurance. He knows less about insurance than you do or that I do. The chief deputy who works for him is Terry Morante. And before Terry Morante worked for DIFS, she was an assistant vice president at Citizens. Before that, she worked for the Michigan Insurance Bureau. She is a lifer in Lansing and working for insurance companies. Whose side do you think she's on? And the senior deputy director, Rhonda Fawcett, worked at several insurance companies before she worked in Lansing, and I got all of that right off their own website. So there's a bunch of people in Lansing, former employees of insurance companies or people who don't know a damn thing about insurance, who will not do a darn thing for you, but they will try to help you understand why you got ripped off. So that is why your insurance company will deny your auto theft claim and why they will get away with it. It's a sad state of affairs in Michigan, but if you're black and your car gets stolen, your insurance company probably will not pay you and they will get away with it. It's sad. Contact me if you have any questions or comments, lehtoslaw.com, LEHTOSLAW.com. I'm on Twitter at Steve Lehto, at STEVELEHTO. And this show is on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean, Google Play, and YouTube. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.